Lucas Hayes, heir to the Hayes luxury conglomerate, was late to homeroom again. It was one of those golden September mornings at Eastmere Academy, where sunlight spilled through glass like honey and trust fund kids paraded in pressed uniforms and perfectly curated apathy. As Lucas rounded the back courtyard, a commotion stopped him. A circle of boys, smug and laughing. A boy with Down syndrome crouched on the ground, blinking back tears. And in front of him, a girl. She stood with her fists clenched, daring the jeers to come closer. Her dark curls bounced with each movement, wild and defiant. "Pick on someone who doesn't already have a fight of his own," she snapped. Lucas stepped forward, but before he could speak, she turned. "What would a trust fund baby know about real problems?" she spat, eyes blazing. He should have been insulted. Instead, he smiled. Because for the first time in his 17 years, someone had spoken to him like he was no one. And that felt real. Lucas couldn't stop thinking about the girl who stood up for someone when no one else did. He asked around and found her name, Sophia Reyes. She was a scholarship student, always reading, always rushing between classes and part-time jobs. A week later, he approached her in the library, pretending to need help with calculus. "You seriously want me to tutor you?" she asked, narrowing her eyes. "Yeah," Lucas shrugged. "Turns out trust fund babies suck at math." She rolled her eyes but agreed. Their tutoring sessions turned into long talks about life, books, and dreams. Lucas followed her one evening into the city, under the pretense of needing more help. She didn't seem surprised when he showed up at her door. Her apartment was tiny, the wallpaper peeling in corners. She opened a cabinet and smirked. "You want dinner, you learn to make ramen. 99 cents a pack, gourmet if you add an egg." He burned the first pot. She laughed so hard she cried. He'd never felt prouder. She showed him how to hold the chopsticks, how to flavor broth with soy sauce and sarcasm. As they ate on her floor, he slipped a penny into the meter outside. "Lucky coin," she grinned. "First time you're feeding something other than your ego." He kept that penny. Their friendship deepened quickly. Lucas started looking forward to every moment with Sophia. She challenged him, teased him, saw through him. One afternoon, she handed him a worn copy of Pride and Prejudice. "Read this. It's got more truth than your economics textbooks." He read it. Every page. Sophia quoted Austen like scripture. "You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you," she whispered once, eyes dancing. They began scribbling lines to each other, on napkins, the backs of receipts, sometimes on each other's hands. Their inside jokes became gestures. A tug of the earlobe meant "I miss you." A knuckle tap meant "I'm proud." Lucas had fallen. Completely. Their love grew as they moved through college. Sophia still lived simply. She knitted him scarves with lopsided tassels. He wore them even in spring. On birthdays, she handed him handmade scrapbooks filled with poems, ticket stubs, and Polaroids. Lucas tried to give her gifts, jewelry, designer bags, but she returned them with a smile. "I don't need things, Lucas. I need you." But Lucas gave in other ways. When she broke down over her student loans, he quietly paid them off. Never told her. When she graduated, tears in her eyes, she whispered, "I wouldn't have made it without you." He wanted to say the same, but couldn't find the words. Years passed. They built a life full of shared books, midnight ramen, and whispered dreams. Lucas planned the proposal carefully. He waited until the city shimmered in late summer heat. He invited her over to her slightly bigger apartment, pretending it was just dinner. He made ramen. Burned it again, on purpose. She laughed, just like the first time. Then he knelt. No velvet box. Just a folded piece of paper with the words, "You are every chapter worth reading." Sophia cried. Her tears smeared the ink. She said yes with a kiss so fierce he forgot to breathe. Not long after the engagement, Lucas noticed things. "How many kids?" he asked one night, lying with his head on her lap. Sophia smiled, then blinked. I don't know. Maybe none." He laughed. "You're going to be the coolest mom." She said nothing. Later, he found her flipping through a home magazine. "Luxury homes, infinity pools. Dreaming big?" he asked. She shut it quickly. "Just design ideas." And one night, as he whispered, "I'd give up everything for you," she squeezed his hand a little too tightly. He flinched. She didn't say sorry. A week later, Evelyn Hayes, Lucas' mom, invited Sophia to tea at an expensive hotel. She wore diamonds like armor. "You're smart, Sophia." "Wasted on love," Evelyn said calmly. Sophia tried to smile. "Lucas and I are happy." Evelyn slid a sealed envelope across the table. Sophia opened it. Inside were bank account numbers and one cold number, $10 million. Sophia's breath caught. Evelyn lifted her phone. "Listen." She pressed play. A recording of Lucas, distorted, said, "Gold diggers are just businesswomen in disguise." Sophia looked up, confused. He didn't say that. "Does it matter?" Evelyn asked. "Every woman has her price. I simply found yours." That night, Sophia lay awake staring at the ceiling. At 3:11 a.m., she opened her laptop and searched, "Monaco residency requirements." She cried quietly into her pillow, like she was mourning something she hadn't yet lost. The next evening, Sophia lit candles and cooked Lucas's favorite meal, spiced chicken stew with cumin and garlic, the way he liked it. Her hands trembled as she chopped vegetables. Lucas walked in and smiled. "You didn't have to do all this." "I wanted to," she said, forcing calm. They ate slowly. She watched his every move. The way he twirled his fork. The way he hummed when he liked the food. After dinner, they danced in the kitchen. Their favorite old song played from her phone. She held him close, tighter than usual. "Remember this," she whispered. "Promise me." "Of course," Lucas said, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "What's going on?" She shook her head and kissed him, soft at first, then desperate. He thought it was love. It was goodbye. The big day arrived. The church was filled with flowers, friends, and soft music. Lucas stood at the altar, heart pounding. He reached into his pocket and felt the lucky penny. The same one from that first ramen night. The orchestra played the wedding processional. Guests turned. But the doors stayed closed. Minutes passed. Then murmurs. A champagne flute shattered. Somewhere in the back, someone gasped. Lucas's smile faded. She wasn't coming. He stood there, frozen, while whispers filled the air like falling ash. He looked again at the penny in his hand, hoping it would somehow explain everything. But it was just metal now. High above the clouds, Sophia sat alone on a private jet. The seatbelt light blinked above her, but her eyes stayed fixed on her phone. Photo after photo, Lucas smiling, ramen in hand, his graduation, their notes, all deleted. One by one. She paused once, staring at an old picture of them in her apartment, steam rising from a bowl of noodles between them. She almost smiled. Then her phone buzzed. Bank transfer complete, $10 million. She stared at the screen. The glow reflected in her sunglasses. A single tear ran down her cheek. She wiped it away. Then, with a steady hand, she transferred the money into a new account. And with the transfer confirmation beep, the girl who loved ramen and poetry ceased to exist.
If you enjoyed this story, like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new release.